in the Tigers. A minute left. Levi to Lockie. Oh, what a handball. He was handcuffed, but he still found a way to release it. Brown cops it down from Charlie Cameron. Tunstall goes in once. Cameron with a tidy up. Brisbane trying to surge and get a late goal. Lockie kneeled out, kicks to half forward. Some open country for Hipwood. Well done, Annan. Slowed them down. McKenna to Berry. Logan Morris, all the time in the world. What a bit of a
Wow.
Well, we don't see him down on skill too often, but if you want to look at skill, have a look at that. That was a 1 metre, it's the best 1 metre handball of the year.
Yeah.
I reckon 1 metres generous. That was 10 centimetres.
It probably was, yeah.
Perfect.
Just perfect arc too, didn't it?
It was.
So that Levi could receive it. They can dispute on the wing. 20 seconds now.
Well, we've got a cracking game of footy, Jack.
Entertaining it's been.
I think Adamuso would be wrapped, absolutely wrapped with a start here from Richmond.
Bolter. 10 seconds. Rain on the line. Answorth. Find a way out. And he did.
That sums up Richmond's first quarter there. Their ability to put pressure on these lines. Frontal pressure as well. Over 200. 200 in the forward half as well.
Toronto leading from the front. He's at Hutto's favourite number in touches. Number 7, don't know.
One more than 12, Jared. One more than 12. It's a 3-point margin at quarter time. And Brisbane 4-4-28 lead Richmond 4-1-25.
It was down in Tassie for them.
It was.
Indeed.
Different venue though, Jared.
Yep.
Different venue. All right, it's round 14 on your Sunday ticket. Well, we weren't quite sure what to expect this afternoon in Hobart, but what we got in the opening term, you might expect it from Zach Bailey, but Liam Fawcett also showed his guile, the young, tall Tiger, to kick one of the great goals of his fledgling career and provide a couple of great highlights. And the Tigers have been more than competitive. They trail the back-to-back premiers by just 3 points, so a lot to like, Eddie Betts.
Yeah, there is, and it comes down to Richmond pressure. But down here, it's a beautiful day in Hobart. It's a great game at the moment, but like you said, that quarter, and Jack spoke about it pretty well, is the pressure that the Richmond Tigers put on the Brisbane Lions. They were adamant. It's not just tackle, just the little things there. They give them here, big tackle by Miles Crowley there. You see that chase, a little smother just here, and every time a Brisbane Lions player has got the ball, they are at them, forcing them to kick, hand pass, and their hand passing going forward, they are -1 that quarter. So just the pressure, get it out on. This is the highest rating quarter for the season for the Richmond Tigers, at 202. So their coach Adam Uzo will be wrapped with that quarter, but they have to do it for the next 3 quarters to stay in this game.
Jared Healy, Jack Riewoldt, great start for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's amazing what a bye will do, and I think Adam Uzo certainly would have given the players some time off. But the focus on defence, and that's attitude. It doesn't matter who plays for them. Obviously, they have got one of the longest injury lists. They've got a lot of their stars out as well, but he would be wrapped with that 203 pressure. The other player that's stood up, Jared, has been Tim Taranto. He's been fantastic. 13 disposals in that first quarter. He's kicked a goal himself, but he's been the difference so far in the middle part of the ground for the Tigers. He's had an excellent start.
A little bit of Braxy about there, Jack. Fantastic, excellent. Jared.
Yeah, I agree with Ardo. It was good work by Taranto and Braxy, but their ball movement, Jack, it's the best ball movement I've seen them produce for a whole quarter. I'm just really hoping that it goes on for the next 30 minutes, just ticking it off 1 quarter at a time, as we said pre-game.
Yeah, can they maintain it? That becomes the question.
This guy has had a great start.
Yeah,
you just wonder whether they've left one on the table down there at the Cattery.
Well, they didn't go to the mid-season draft, Jared. They didn't have a spare spot. Quick kick forward from Taranto. Touched, as you heard, every umpire yell. Ainsworth back to the wing. Banks. Interesting. Before finally decided he could escape with a footy. Gets it deep. All one-on-ones down there, Gardner. And Paddock gets it away from Alga.
That's exactly what the Richmond forward line needs to do there. Alga's obviously outsized by Darcy Gardner, but this gives them another opportunity to lock their ball in their forward half.
Alter won the tap. Wilmot takes the territory. Awkward for Hayes Brown. Morris, nimble enough even for a big guy. Not ideal for McKenna. Disrupted play. Rayner. Just handballed and hoped more than anything. Hipwood toppled over. Sonsi tries to send it the other way. Couldn't get past Rayner. Good collection of Lions players there. Matched by Miller. Feeding it forward. From Hayes Brown, and now Taranto. Another disposal. Gardner. Good contest. Elga Fawcett desperately trying to get there to opening quarter goals. He can't. Brain. Ashcroft. First time last week he didn't play on the wing at all, so he was playing forward with some genuine midfield time. Fletcher. Some indecision revealed. So slow plays Brisbane into their short stuff here. Not able to move it with any pace. Gardner.
Well, that would have been the plan coming in. Just slow them up at all costs. Get them to drive it down the line.
So that's exactly what they're forced to do here. Hannon came with authority, made the spoil. Taranto sets up Hopper. This time he's able to breeze past, get away from Bailey. It's the promising build-up. It's up to Campbell now. The young man who is on the rise back home. He'd be disappointed with that.
He still could have kept running. He's still 20 metres in front of him.
Geez, that broken tackle, that would be really concerning. Chris Fagan, have a look at it. I mean, He's been here before. He's seen this movie before against the Kangaroos a number of years ago.
A couple of times this year in terms of their lack of pressure. Bailey gets it deep. Morris, well done by Miller. Morris's touch to Loden and McKenna. A mere formality to finish it. Well played, Lions.
Yeah, one of the things that really re-emerged this season, everyone talks about the forward handball. But the knock-on has been just as prevalent.
This is brutal. This is brutal. You can see the players there from Richmond open, and Eddie Betts made the comment could have run the whole way in, and as is modern footy, Jared, it goes back the other way and you get hurt.
Well, that's what happened. It went the other way, and there's that little knock-on. A ripper. 2 knock-ons, in fact, back-to-back, and the original gets the goal.
3-goal swing there. Seth Campbell, if he had his opportunity again, would have nearly run all the way into the goal line, having a shot from just inside 50.
McKenna, who won a flag as a sub. McKenna has done well to keep his place this year as a forward.
I don't know why that's not play on there.
There's Brown, ready to launch it long and deep. Give them a chance to fly. Gardner matched them in the air. Berry, Wilmot found a little gap. Awkward for Fort. As Brown goes at it, Levi has the agility to get away. Morris, they work through him to Dunkley. Open front half to Reaper in front of Anna.
Yeah, clever skill. Kick on the outside of the right foot from Will Ashcroft. Set this one up.
Likes to snap round the body. Draper. I'm sure he's going to be able to snap this one.
It's going to say
very, very big snap.
He's kicked the goal each of his last 2 games. 8-8 for the season so far, Sam Draper.
I'll tell you what, the technique was pretty good there. Ran out to the right, just allowed himself to rotate through the ball. Didn't quite nail it, but gee, came off the boot beautifully. He'd be encouraged by that.
He's had a good start to his Lions journey.
Yep, he's been good.
Former Bomber.
And he flushed that kick, just not quite accurate enough.
Floston, Bolter, Gallup. Nice crowd in, plenty of Tiger heritage, of course, in Tassie, Jack.
No, there's a lot of Tassie Tigers here. We saw Royce Hart the other day, Hutto, which was good.
Fantastic. The greatest ever Richmond names, and indeed one of the great star forwards the game's ever seen. Plenty of Tiger colours and some Lions too. There's Fagan back at home, of course. Shoulder to shoulders from Grill, able to keep it moving, but Brown couldn't get past. He puts the tackle on a couple of times.
He did well there, Loman. He pushed forward and just slammed down on the handball release.
Hayes Brown to the outside. Bailey, though, the jump ahead. Revell. Floston in front. Fort allows him to try and make what he thought might be a difficult decision, but he finds an avenue out. Uses Taranto and Hopper, very careful with the kick, and it was effective enough at this stage. He kicks through the middle. And he's got to Campbell. He's got a man on the outside. Tresize, can he get himself balanced here? And he's a lefty, so he floats it over the top. Bolter. Oh, boy, you never quite know what you're going to get with Noah, do you?
Well, excellent build-up there.
Yep.
Just those handballs there, sort of drawing the Brisbane defence up, and getting players are free ahead of the ball. Just couldn't finish there from Noah Bolter.
Wilmot, he too is full of indecision.
That's a couple of times now, done everything right bar the last possession. Cost them a couple of goals.
Go up to Reville.
In fact, more, because it's rebounded both times and the Lions have kicked goals.
And they've kicked their way through now, haven't they? Rayner again. Delayed the kick for as long as possible. Miller at full stretch. Working in tandem with Floston. Back to Anand again. And kicks across to Broad. It wasn't perfect. Just had time to recover. And Banks, this is threatening to get a little sloppy and a little awkward. The pressure rises. That was high, and that'll help. Short. Punches a quick kick. Cross to Floston. Head coming on off a short, but he can get a little further along to Grill. Indulges in the bounce. Rechko did the running on the inside, but kicks it even further down. Just got over the head of Fawcett. Free kick. Advantage paid and taken, and again they've blown it. Steely Green, oh no. Fawcett let him
I can't believe it. Well, Adam Uze, it'd be killing him, but he'd be also buoyed by the fact that the ball movement has been terrific up until that final kick or handball.
And Chris Fagan is on the exact opposite side there, Jared, as well. He'd be really worried at the moment about how Richmond are moving the ball with ease out of their own D50.
Lions have the only goal of the quarter. They make it more difficult than it might have been. Brain able to find the way out. Bailey takes it wide, 2-1.
Yeah, Richmond are actually playing like Brisbane play when they're at their best. Short, punchy kicks inside. Rocco, the great magician, not there at the present time. He is the embodiment of it. They're missing his kicking.
And Hugh McCluggage, of course, as well. Oscar Allen, Dean Coleman, Lester. Carthy hasn't made his way back yet. Jack Payne in defence, so there's some quality to come back for Brisbane. But I think challenged here by the Tigers. That's just slightly wayward. McFloston. So Bailey doing a fair bit of work behind the footy. More midfield time this year. Up to the wing. And Draper just a bit of extra strength and size on Annan. Pope the kick. Hoping for Cameron. Needed a lot to go right. Encircled by Tigers. Dunkley sliding forward. Prestia worked him over. Cameron just couldn't put the squeeze on completely. Miller. McKenna, by whatever means, gets back to Rayner. Just bounces off Brown once, twice. Ashcroft, as a result, coughed it. Tigers didn't give up. They didn't give in. Bolter sends it forward. And again, just a little too severe.
The numbers are there for Richmond, though, for the handball. That's the thing that's challenged Brisbane so far. They're winning the ball back, though, at ease at the moment. The Tigers through pressure.
Staying in the contest. Margin sits at 9. A little uneasy as the ball had a mind of its own. Fletcher didn't panic. Back to Gallup. Could have gone short to Berry. Goes longer to Brain. Blows off one Tiger and then kicks a high ball. There's plenty of lines there, but there's also Noah Bolter.
And he's a good player, this bloke. He can play just about anywhere. He's that mobile and tall.
He's 194. He's really not that tall. It's amazing, isn't he? He's got a huge leap, obviously. He's the 6th tallest Tiger in the team today, and yet he's rucking.
Yeah, I think ever since Tony Curvis has been injured, Noah Bolter's really grown up with that number 1 ruck role.
Yeah, they've found probably the best place for him overall. I mean, played plenty of good footy as a defender, obviously. Helga working hard up the ground. Tigers get to half forward. Bolter's in the middle of the pack, but he's pulling the mark down. Doing it in defence. He's got Tresize. And the kick was perfect. Sneaking forward.
Well, it had to be long because Ainsworth had read it well and was going to take the intercept short, but it went over the back and set up young Tresize for a shot at goal that they richly deserve right now, the Tigers. They've been as good a team, if not potentially the better team, but they are still trailing on the scoreboard.
So just 3 goals in his career, none so far this year. James Tresize has carved out a role mainly in defence and the wing in his young career. Needs a steady left boot, and unfortunately for Richmond, again can't capitalise on a real opportunity.
Yeah, their play between full-back and that last kick has been really strong, and yet the last kick has killed them in this term.
Wilmot able to indulge in a bounce. He's got to the defensive 50, so the kick went up to the wing. McKenna, his timing was beautiful on the bump. The kick cutting on the angle, though, was just a little off the mark. Short released the handball to Miller. What to do next? Prestia gave him a way out and ultimately a way forward. Rioli was the target. Brain was onto that. Good quick twist and turn of the body. Cochin liking the way he moves, but marked by Gallup.
That last kick again, it's absolutely killing the Tigers.
Over the mark for Bailey. Tunstall. Floats one to the wing. Bolter.
Big work. That's just great body work. Great body work. Seen it a couple of times in the last few minutes. No push, just a bump to the side.
Here's Lafau. Crashed the pack. Made the contest again. That's what they need. The bare minimum. And the pressure was grilled. Picked up nicely by Taranto. He knew where he had help. Banks. Back it goes to Annan again. They try and try again. From the side. Green couldn't quite complete the mark. Wilmot kept the hands free. And now Gardner measures off the kick. Tigers, though, on the attack. Broad. He had three of them lining up. And Elgar takes the mark. And thankfully, from the Richmond point of view, he got a rush of blood, but he was able to just control things. Take a deep breath, and the high fives are shared amongst the Tigers.
Lost their way offensively here, Brisbane. It's come off the back of Richmond's pressure. We've been harping on it, but it's been excellent. Their forward half pressure is through the roof. It's continued into this second quarter as well. It's just this part of the game, kicking inside 50, and their finishings let them down.
They just need something to show for all their toil. Jasper Elgar kicked the first goal. And now he's just able to get that in. It had to.
Well, that last kick, Jack, just having a look at the numbers, their kick retention going inside the forward 50 is at 36%, and Brisbane's is just a tick under 60. They've dominated the, well, not dominated, but they've taken a lead in the territory contest, having a couple more inside 50s, but gee, they've cost themselves 2 or 3 goals and what should be a significant lead.
No, but exciting times, I think, for the Tigers. Adamuse knows that man there, Jasper Elgar, you look at this sort of super draft, they traded a lot of players out to have all these first-round picks there, and only 109 out of 280 games. Elgar's the only one out there at the moment, so there's plenty of talent there. That's the nucleus for Richmond going forward.
Yeah, the coach just talked about it. I just want to get them to 50 games. It doesn't help when they just can't get on the field. The effort has been outstanding. Green with the forward ball to Hopper. He used his strength, and then he got a high tackle.
See, I tell you what, he missed a handball down the goal. That had to be given.
Yeah, he was on by a mile there. Lucky he got tackled hard.
Starting a red alert here if I was a Brisbane player near Jacob Hopper, because he might be troubled for the distance. Jaden Short runs past.
Goals 3 for the year so far.
You can't balk that. That just has to be a handball.
Over his time, he's been less than 50% with his set shots, but Richmond need him to step up here. And it's going to curve away and fall short.
Positive signs again, though, for the Tigers.
Front half turnover or front half stoppage here. They haven't got a goal from a stoppage yet, the Tigers. Everything has come from turnovers, the majority in the front half.
Brisbane's lead is only at 2, so they're vulnerable. They found it well against Draper to at least split the contest. Gallup, though, takes Brisbane to the wing. He takes the footy into the hands of Charlie Cameron. He has to backpedal, though, at the moment, and then loses his footing. Tries to get it to the boundary line. Wasn't able to achieve it. Play on was the call. A bash and crash. Sonsi takes it away. Showed it to him. Maybe got a little bit fancy. Derry slows down the path. Dunkley, Sonsi goes in to try and clean it up. A desperation match, though, by Brisbane. Berry takes the handball away. Fletcher, McKenna, Bailey, just the superior skills shown. Brings it back into Neil. Good presentation from Morris. Trying to duck the kick back, but Prestia was onto that. Doesn't panic when he loses his footing. Miller wobbles one to the wing. Floston's got forward.
There you go.
Yeah, Richmond are running hard, precise. Goodwin kick, the sun's an issue, but Taranto got side of a Sharon and he takes the mark. She's desperate to lay it off.
Lachie Neale's one of the issues for Brisbane. He's just hasn't been able to get the footy. He had a touch about a minute ago. That was his only touch for the quarter.
Some hesitance to kick it forward to their forwards one-on-one. You look through the stats as well. We speak about Lachie Neale. Loman 1 touch, Hipwood only 2, Charlie Cameron has only had the 2 touches as well, Rayner's only had 5.
Not an easy kick, but Richmond have to take their chances. Tim Taranto's done it once and he's done it again. Tigers in front.
Well, that's just a great goal and absolutely worthy of a Harvey Norman. Look at Charlie trying to do the party tricks, and the slippery surface has dragged down a lot of players, including Charlie. And then the turnover comes and the ball movement once again.
Well, this is worrying signs for Brisbane. Excellent signs for Richmond as well. The ability to get out the back. They are really hurting the Lions on turnover. That man there, Tim Taranto, kicks his second goal of the match to go with the 19 disposals as well. So 2 clearances. He's had an excellent start to this game of footy.
He's on fire.
It was Nathan Broad over here when Charlie had that ball. He didn't hesitate. He just ran straight at him and forced him to turn that one over.
Draper put his hands to it. Campbell maybe a little over-eager on Ashcroft. Possession 13 coming up for Will. Just floats a little bit. Hard for Eric to handle. Annan.
Interesting the decision to go with a long kick. He had Lachie Neale on his outside, could have gone short and start to generate some run inside the forward line, but elected to go the long bomb.
Draper pulls out to get behind the ball. That Hipwood to ruck. Bailey. Tigers with the last 2 goals and all the momentum. They have the lead. 5.5 to go in the second term. Ashcroft surrounded by Richmond players. Banks, it was so crowded he didn't have any space to get the handball away. Ashcroft, he too ran into a gridlock. About 35 metres out from goal.
Well, he'd be worried. He'd be really worried. Pressure just a tick under 160. Only 2 effective tackles for the quarter.
Hipwood. Floats out of bounds on the full.
And he's right to be worried, Jack, because there's plenty of things to be concerned about.
Well, just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment, the Lions forwards. Pressure around the ball is too high for them to be too slick with it.
Miller's kick is a little too long for his teammates. And game 250, Harris Andrews provides the steadying hand that he has so often to Ashcroft into the pocket and Loman, who we have not seen a lot of. He's had just 1 disposal in this game so far.
I don't think the ball was directed there for Kyle Loman. Came in behind the pack. It was a nice mark in the end. And hot on that 15 metres, the umpire, that one there called play on to Ashcroft there. Jaden Short. And we didn't think Loman was in that contest.
Goals in 3 of his last 4 games, but has already surpassed his goal tally from last year. You can see 21 goals, 13, and that is not going to get close. Nicely taken, though.
That's the son of the Richmond president, actually, that's just clunked that one behind the goals there, Hutto.
Nice. Brown's kick is clean.
Tim Taranto is not far away from a career-best first half. Never before had 20 disposals and 2 goals in the first half. He's 1 possession short.
Opera coming, and then inside 50.
Clever.
It was from Campbell to Rioli. Evan Morris is slipping over. It must be slippery.
There's a critical 3.5 minutes here for Richmond. They've done so much hard work. Heading up the back-to-back premiers.
Ashcroft with the handoff back to Answorth. Good to see him back there. A whole lot of injuries to deal with in his time. Just out on last year's flag.
Once again, forcing him long down the line. This is really good defence by the Tigers.
Andrews just dropped short. It was a bit of a nothing kick from the man so experienced and so talented coming with the Qs.
And he's a good player coming. He just hasn't got near the ball this year. This week.
Floats it deep. Real, he couldn't quite find it. It's not easy when that man's around. Off to Levi, just shuffles out. And short to McKenna. Single goal kickers for Brisbane. McKenna, one of them. 5 separate goal kickers. Here's Gardner. And a bit of run on the outside from Brain. I think he got too comfortable, Brain. He too hits the turf. Needed help. Back on his feet. Short to Ashcroft.
It's just confusing when you kick it to their forwards one-on-one. There's players down there like Morris is calling for the ball, but they get to centre forward. Slow up.
They're starting to doubt themselves a bit, the Lions, which is great credit to Richmond. And again, they had the defensive answers.
There's no one attacking the ball, though. It's just a long bomb to no one.
They had to go a bit quicker there.
Yeah,
that was the setup.
absolutely.
They had it. Get it to them.
You're going to kick it long. You might as well kick it long quickly.
Play on. Bailey heard the call in time. He turns. He shoots. And he doesn't even score. Miller, the bounce. Quickly. Just get away from Rechko's hands to the wing. Here's Taranto. Used his strength and core. Tunstall doesn't give in. And I don't know what Taranto was thinking, but he's got away with it.
Yeah, he's lucky there. He had one arm. He should have dropped it on for the boot.
He gave up in the end there and just walked over the line.
Suggests the insufficient intent rule could have maybe been enforced there.
About 3 rules that could have got done on there. At 44 left, can Richmond hang on? Maybe they can build on their lead. Bolter, Glass, the foul versus Gardner. Andrews versus Fawcett. Answorth to Neil. Rioli takes care of him. Campbell. Reville, the footy is hot and getting hotter. Couple of Ashcrofts just over the head of Taranto. Reville stepped around to the inside. This is where, closer to the line, where it's been a bit greasy and hard to keep your footing. Just jab down the line again, away from Morris.
They're pretty stiff there, the Tigers. They had 6 or 7 tackle after tackle. There's a lot of bodgy, half handball, half hoik.
I love the word bodgy getting around too, Jerry.
Yeah.
Bolter, fourth, straight to Taranto though. Rechko.
It's a world record for Taranto.
So, Jared, bodgy, could you just explain that a little bit to me?
Yeah, I'll work on it over the half-time break for you, ready?
There's dodgy and there's bodgy. And then there's Fletcher. Sends Brisbane inside 50. Again, Richmond look to have the defensive strength, and what a start from Adam. There's a plumber. Thumped it up to the wing. Shown that he reads the game very well, Annan, so far. Helps his other defenders in the air. He's brought all the traits that made Richmond interesting to the game today. Out wide from Reville. Back to Ashcroft again. The Tigers were tough. Neil just stood and delivered for Dunkley. So they had to dig deep to their experienced players, and Bullock goes a long, long way. Dunkley hits the mark. The unpredictability of the Sharon. Again, it was Lockie Neal and those elite hands.
Yeah, Lockie Neal may have set it up, but this was anything bar bodgy. This was absolutely skill at its highest. There's the clever handball. And the release, and the other handball, and watch for the bounce. He kicked it on the outside, got that Dacos leg spinner. Just a great handballing team are the Lions. They are brilliant to watch.
And it should be enough to give the Lions the lead at half-time. For all the Tigers' work, it's been 2 goals to each in their second quarter. 13 seconds, so you have to be just about perfect to score again Fletcher gives them that opportunity. Good defensive work again by Annan. They've really found one.
Yeah, have they?
The siren sounds. And the Tigers, with plenty of fans in Hobart, have brought their best. We're going to a couple of milestones. Brisbane haven't always been able to celebrate their milestones with success in recent times, so they'll be looking to do better in the second half. But they do have the lead. Got a great Sunday ticket. First half full of entertainment, and there's more to come. It's Brisbane 6-6-42 leading Richmond 6-3-39. In Hobart, it's the Lions by 3.
All right, there we go, folks. Hey, welcome in, everyone. It is half-time here at Ninja Stadium in Hobart, Tasmania. And, of course, the Brisbane Lions, I tell you what, they are super lucky to be in front in this second quarter, opening half. 6-6-42, the Tigers 6-3-39. The Tigers missed 4 easy shots. I know they kicked 3 behinds. But 2 resulted in points and 2 resulted in out of bounds. The last kick absolutely, killed the Tigers. They were the dominant team in that second quarter. And I'll tell you what, the Lions really need to lift. They'll be breathing a sigh of relief. They're going into half-time 3 points up, let alone behind, because the Tigers should be in front in this game. They certainly have looked like the better team in this game so far. As I said, it's just the finishing touches for the Tigers, which has let them down in this game, but they're doing everything else right. They look confident out there. They're moving the ball pretty well. They're doing some of that short chipping and the handball receives, so they're doing pretty good. They're doing what the Lions are doing, but it's just some of the strength of the Lions, breaking tackles and getting that goal. That being said, the Tigers' defence working very, very well. I think the Tigers' defence working a lot better than Brisbane's defence, as I said before. It is just the last possession of the Tigers that is letting them down. That is the reason why the Tigers aren't in front in this game up until half-time. But I tell you what, if it keeps going like this, folks, we are in for a ring-a-ding-ding second half here. Ninja Stadium should be an absolute ripper. Of course, the Brisbane Lions putting on 2-2 in that second term. And the Richmond Tigers, well, there we go, 2-2 ended up even for the quarter. Let's just pop on over and have a look at the goal scorers in the game so far. And, of course, if you're playing a first goal scorer to win, there we go. In the opening term, the first goal scorer of the game was Lachie Neale. Lachie Neale was the first goal scorer in the match. And, of course, the first goal scorer in the second term was Connor McKenna, both from the Brisbane Lions. All right, let's pop over. Have a look at the goal scorers, folks, before the commentators come back, give it a little bit of analysis on the opening half here at Ninja Stadium. And as we go to the goal scorers, we have a look. There's 3 multiple goal scorers out on the ground so far. And, of course, all for the Richmond Tigers. Well, they've only got 3 goal scorers. And, of course, Tim Taranto, Liam Fawcett and Jasper Alger, all with 2 goals apiece. They are your goal scorers for the Tigers. And, of course, for the Brisbane Lions, all singles. And, of course, they come in the form of Bruce Neville, Lachie Neale, Logan Morris, Connor McKenna, Josh Dunkley and Zach Bailey. They are your goal scorers up until half-time in the game today. But if we have a look at the disposal getters, well, I'll tell you what, there's a couple of players there in the 20s already. And, of course, Tim Taranto tops away. He's having a cracking game there for the Tigers. 20 disposals for Tim Taranto. 10 kicks, 10 handballs. He's had 4 marks. Look, he's had 3 tackles, 3 clearances as well. But he's also kicked 2 goals. 87 AFL fantasy points he's got. So he's in for a big score today. Going really well. He's had 293 metres gained, so he's doing really well. Will Ashcroft on 20. All right, we'll come back to the stats in a moment. Let's just head back to the commentators for a little bit of analysis on the opening half.
To be in front at half-time, such has been the spirit and the effort of this Richmond team so far in the first half. At Ninja Stadium, your Sunday ticket, it's a tight one. And it's Brisbane by 3 points as we head down to Jack Riewoldt and Eddie Betts.
Yes, Hutto, it's been a fantastic start from the Brisbane Lions and the Richmond Tigers here. The Tigers, Eddie, have been able to dominate the turnover game. We haven't seen this from Richmond. We've seen it in patches, but Adam Uze will be absolutely wrapped with this first half, especially the way they're moving the ball.
Yeah, and we spoke about it those first 2 quarters, Jack. All their scores that you see there, 39 points came from turnovers. And it was just their pressure. Every time they gave a hand pass, they were at them. Brisbane Lions, they found it hard to get through that pressure.
Yeah, and it's been this turnover-style game that's really challenged the Lions, and this scoreboard could be a lot different. We saw Seth Campbell, who was able to get on the end of some excellent work up the ground, and he had his opportunity to run the whole way in.
Yeah, and just we saw this one play out, and he even had someone on the side of him where they could run in and give that hand pass. So these are some costly misses that they had, but this man right here, Timmy Taranto, the first quarter that he's had 20 disposals, 2 goals. He's leading the way.
He's certainly been excellent, Tim Taranto, so far. It's been challenging the Brisbane Lions defence, their ability for Richmond to run their way through it. The other part of the aspect of the game that Adam Uze would be rapt about, Eddie, has been the pressure from the Tigers. It's been all around the ground.
Yeah, it is, and we know what Rioli can do, and it's great to have him back in the side. And he brings that aura about him when in that forward half. He just chase, pressure, smother, and it's not just the tackling. It's the effort, the little things. Then it becomes perceived pressure, and then they eventually jack it out or turn it over, and then Richmond go the other way.
And off the back of their pressure, their ability to create forward half intercepts there. That's the Richmond halcyon days there. You can see 20 forward half turnovers joining the 11 coming into the game with Harris Andrews in game 250 suggested that it was Brisbane's MO, but Richmond have been able to turn the ball over, and it's been Nathan Board that's been pressing up the ground to make those turnovers head.
Yeah, they are. And not only that, the forwards are getting up the ground and opening up that back, but like you said, Jack, the pressure, racing back towards goal, scoring on that aspect. They should be wrapped with their first half, and now they've got to bring it for a second half.
There's been a lot of exciting things happen in AFL footy, but Maurice Rioli comes back into the Richmond side this week after injury, and he is an excitement machine, and it's pressure.
Just watch him here. Just watch how he gets this tackle. All the forwards are up. They're outnumbered down there. So they quick kick forward that. He knows they're under pressure now. He just puts the tail down. Look at him, his head down, running, the little feet are going, and they just grab it. Bang, gets him. That should have been holding the ball there. But little things like that just builds that excitement for the team, and that gets you going when you see something like that.
We want to see plenty more of that in the second half. Hutto, for the Richmond Tigers and Brisbane Lions, they're up against it.
They are, a bit of work to do. No, they are in front by 3 points. They get a jacket, Eddie. We'll take a short break. Tina's ready for us in the newsroom with all that's gone on so far in this round 14 of AFL footy. That's next.
All right, there we go. A little bit of analysis. We'll wait for them to come back, folks. But as I said before, they come back. Let's head back to the stats. Give you a little bit of a wrap up and see what your favourite players got. If you're looking for a player and you want to see what stats they've got for the game so far, just drop it in the comments. And of course, we'll find that player. As I said, Tim Taranto, 20. Will Ashcroft, the leading possession getter out there for the Brisbane Lions. He's had 20 possessions, 9 kicks, 11 handballs, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, just the one behind for Will Ashcroft. Next best, Darcy Wilmot on 16 there for the Brisbane Lions. Zach Bailey, 14, 10 and 4, 2 clearances, 1 goal, 1. Connor McKenna with that 1 goal, 13 touches, 11 kicks, 2 handballs for him. Next best for the Tigers, Nick Vlaston, 12 disposals. Sonsei on 12, and also Roskoski on 12. Also Harris Andrews there on 12. Jaden Short, Prestia both on 11 there. Lachie Neale, he's been there, but he's been a little bit quiet in the opening half there for the Brisbane Lions. Just the 11 touches for Lachie. He has kicked that 1 goal, 4 kicks, 7 handballs, just the 1 clearance. Jared Berry, there we go. He likes to handball, doesn't he? He's had 11 disposals, 1 kick, 10 handballs. There we go for him. I just want to keep rolling on down. There was another player I wanted to have a little bit of a look at, see whether I could see where he is. We'll come to here. Why don't I have a look at Noah Bolter? Because I tell you what, Noah Bolter was pretty good in that second term. He was up the ground, defence, forward, midfield. Tell you what, he was doing really good. There he is, Noah Bolter, 10 disposals. Tell you what, he had a fantastic second term there, did Noah Bolter. 8 kicks, 2 handballs, 4 marks, 1 tackle, 10 hit-outs, and a clearance. So he's going pretty well for the Tigers in this game so far. Ben Miller on 9 there for the Tigers. Also with Nathan Broad. There we go, just rolling on down. Levi Ashcroft, there we go, hasn't done much. 9 touches there for him. Sam Draper, 8 disposals, had a long shot from just outside 50 with 1 behind. 13 hit-outs, 3 clearances for Sam Draper there as we keep on rolling down. Logan Morris, well, he's hit the scoreboard. 1 goal, 1 for 6 touches, 4 kicks for the Brisbane Lions. Cam Rayner, the Bull, well, there we go. He's trying to do his bullocking work, but he's only had 5 touches. Hasn't had much of the pill in this game so far, but we'll soon see. Of course, Ty Gallop was trying to gallop down the wing. Just the 5 touches, 5 kicks also for him. Eric Hipwood, good to see him back in the lineup for the Brisbane Lions, although he's been quiet. 4 touches, 2 kicks, 2 handballs, that's it. He's had a clearance and a couple of tackles. And Charlie Brum Brum Cameron, I tell you what, he hasn't been able to get off the leash at the moment. There we go. Only 11 AFL ranking points for him. So, you know, he's had a quiet game, 3 disposals, 1 kick, 2 handballs for Charlie. And, of course, Kai Lohman, the same for Brisbane. He's only had 2 touches, a kick and a handball, resulting in 1 behind. Actually, let's just have a little bit of a look at the team stats. We'll see what's happening there. We'll see what's happening there. There we go. So it's just 11 disposals for the Brisbane Lions in front. The kicks, there we go, as plus 15 to the Brisbane Lions. Richmond handballing a little bit more there, plus 4. Inside 50s, well, Richmond are well above their season average of 46, already on 30, Brisbane 31. All right, let's quickly head back down to the commentators just for a moment.
Couple of days he played for the Clarence Footy Club, my local team. They play here at Ninja Stadium. Of course, the other great number 4 at Richmond, Royce Hart. So we were able to get the 2 great number 4s there today. Excellent to have some stars and champions together from completely different eras. 50 years between premierships, Royce Hart, 1967. Obviously, Dustin being involved in 2017. We won't talk about that too much, Ed. But he did pull on the boots as well. We got him out yesterday at North Hobart Oval, Ed. The big number 4, vintage Dustin Martin.
How did he go down there, Jack? Obviously, you were there. He still looks in good nick. Was there any fend-offs? Who did he kick? 1 goal?
1 goal, 5. So he left the kicking boots at home. I think the kicking boots may have stayed here. But great to see him back. Second game of footy since he retired. He was up at Port Douglas a month ago. But he was invested in the game yesterday, and importantly, Clarence got the win.
Yeah, it was great. Even just looking in the crowd here, Jack, I saw some kids come up with a Dusty Martin, Clarence, your team. They designed jumpers for Dusty. Yeah. Did you ever get that?
No, I certainly didn't get that. I did play a couple of games here too, but it was excellent to see the big number 4 there, embraced the whole weekend. The people of Hobart have been able to catch up with Dusty. And scenes at the end, Ed, the siren went. It was like Buddy had kicked his 1,000th goal. There was a sprint to Dusty. Every kid here in southern Tasmania, there's ex-AFL player Josh Green getting involved as well. But 1 goal, 5 for the big fella.
What was it? All you? Was it your idea? Did you get him down here to your home ground to play?
Maybe had a small smattering of influence of getting him down here. But Hutto, it was excellent to see the big number 4 back out in very different colours, playing against the Tigers, but importantly, playing footy again.
Yeah, great. Looks a bit like Plugger there with the big number 4.
They won't like that.
Oh, he's a great goal kicker, Plugger, of course. All right, that's fantastic to see. Let's get the latest news now from David Zeta.
Hello, Hutto. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. So Lincoln McCarthy, not good to see him suffer another injury setback for the Brisbane Lions. So training on the Thursday, trying to make his return from a hamstring injury, and then he suffered a calf strain. So he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks after the bye, so he continues to have a wretched run with injury. In better news, though, Hugh McCluggage, Dane Zorko, Kadeen Coleman are all tracking to be available for round 18 against Essendon. Ryan Lester expected back against the Swans. So good news as far as the Lions are concerned with a few players, but unfortunately Lincoln McCarthy is going to have to wait a little bit longer for his AFL return. On Richmond's point of view, the cavalry is well and truly coming for them. So Toby Nankervis he's effectively a lock for next week. He was very close this week. He and the club wanted to get a couple more sessions under the belt. He should play next week for them. Tom Lynch, probably not seeing him back until at least round 17 against Carlton. He's been running, doing a lot of non-contact training. It's just about that throat healing now after that nasty knock. Jack Ross, Ryan Mansell, Kane McAuliffe, Harry Armstrong, Luke Traynor, all in the frame to return. Taj Houghton getting through the VFL unscathed as well. So they are finally getting some clean runs and clean bills of health, which will be great to see for them. Now, the MRO will release its findings a bit later on today. It will be very interesting to see how Paul Curtis's incident is graded after this tackle on Hamish Davis. So I think it's up to the MRO here to determine whether or not Paul Curtis exercised enough of a duty of care here. If he did, then there's no case to answer. If he didn't, then you'd have to think that there is potentially a 3-match sanction given the concussion that was there to Hamish Davis. So those findings will come through pretty soon. Obviously a big second half though still to play out, Haddo.
Thank you to David Zeta. Short break, and then we're back for the second half. The Brisbane Lions, back-to-back premiers, but work to do against the enthusiastic Tigers.
All right, there we go. While they're back, let's just run through some of the team stats as we were going there before. We'll just have a look at the results so far in this round. As I was saying, the inside forward 50s are pretty even for both teams. 30 and 31 inside forward 50s, 9 scoring shots to 12. There we go. Just looking at the disposal efficiency, reasonably good for both teams, 73 and 72% there. Efficiency inside forward 50. Richmond's on their season average of 43. Brisbane a little bit low there. Free kicks, not many been given in the game so far. It's 7-4 plus 3 to the Tigers, but look, this has been pretty well umpired this game so far. The stoppages in the hit-outs, the Lions at +4 there. The clearances are +1. The Richmond are doing really well. Out of the centre clearances are doubling the Brisbane Lions. 8-4, they're +4. Richmond will be very happy with that. Just the stoppage clearances, the Brisbane Lions +5 in that aspect there. 13-8 for the Brisbane Lions. Contested, pretty well contested game here. They're +7. Both teams going above season average, so that's pretty good to see. Uncontested, pretty tight. +8 to the Brisbane, 128 to 120. Turnovers, pretty even. Just looking at the marks inside forward 50, Richmond, they have had the better of that. 6-4 marks inside forward 50. As I said before, folks, it is the last disposal that is causing Richmond to be trailing in this game. They just haven't put that score on the board. Just a couple of errors there. They should be in front. They should be in front by about 2-3 goals in this game if things had have actually gone right for their tackle count there. Good to see both teams. Tackle count is up. 49 is the average for Richmond, already at 39. Super duper happy with that. And Brisbane 46. They're already up to 30. 33, 30. Their season average tackle counts for both teams absolutely horrendous. So they really need to work on that, and they're certainly doing that in this game today. They're getting the tackle count up somewhere where they actually should be, which is probably 65, 70 a game. Tackles inside forward 50, there we go. 8-6, both teams tackling pretty well there. Let's just have a quick look at the live ladder, and of course if Brisbane Lions do happen to win this game by this margin, they'll jump back up into 7th spot. If they happen to lose this game, well, they'll be down in 10th spot, will be the Brisbane Lions. So there we go. Just percentage outside of the top 6 if Brisbane happen to win. Of course, Richmond, if they lose this game or they win this game, they'll still be sitting 17th with their 2 wins. There we go. But I tell you what, I think Richmond have got a bright future ahead of them. Look like they're playing really good football. And that's what we like to see from this young up-and-coming side. Looks like they've got a little bit of confidence. They're playing with confidence in this game so far. Don't forget just the results from this round 14 so far. Of course, Adelaide beat the Western Bulldogs. They gave them a towel up at Marvel Stadium, 121-64. Geelong, Geelong GMHBA Stadium gave the Gold Coast a little bit of a touch-up, 105-60. Melbourne doing the job over Essendon at the MCG, 95-50. I tell you what, West Coast were unlucky. They should have won this game. over there at Optus Stadium. I think the Mullet Man, he had a shot with probably 30 seconds to go directly in front, about 20, 25 metres out, and missed. North Melbourne winning that game by a point. 74-73, one that West Coast let slip. And, of course, another tight game where Sydney were really lucky to get over Port Adelaide. It looked like Port Adelaide were going to win this game, but Sydney somehow got back up over there at Adelaide Oval. Sydney 93, Port Adelaide 90. I'll tell you what, that was a close one. And, of course, one more game to come after this game, which will be St Kilda and the GWS Giants. That game actually starts in about 40 minutes. We may cover the second half of that game, not sure. And, of course, teams this week that have a bye are Collingwood, Carlton, Hawthorn and Fremantle. They are the teams that have a bye this week. Don't forget, football kicks off next round, which will be next Thursday night. Tell you what, that's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game if you want to listen to one. That's the Fremantle Dockers taking on the Geelong Cats, first playing third over there at Optus Stadium. All right, let's head back down to the action, where it's the Lions by 3 points.
Prestia brought in Precise, and now Banks off half back. Just for Dion.
Scary thing is, Jack, if the Tigers get that last kick going, the Brisbane Lions might be in for a hell of a fright.
Triple premiership player. Kicks Richmond to half forward. Campbell couldn't get through. Tackle from Ainsworth. And high contact in the end on Rioli.
This is that kick that we're talking about.
Yep.
Boys, isn't that? Make sure that Tom Lynch down there, so you've got to try and reinvent a short little lead up. Steer away from Harris Andrews.
Just dabs it into the pocket. Elgar! That is a good take if it's paid.
I don't think he got the first grab.
That's been paid.
Yeah.
There was some doubt, I think it's fair to say.
The umpire that was probably further away that paid it.
Yes, I think you're right, Jack. The umpire to his left there, it had already been paid, but he was still trying to convince him that he'd marked it.
I think in the front position, I'm comfortable with that being paid as a mark.
Well, he continues to show that he has this ability around goal. 3 in his last start and a golden opportunity. Jasper Elgar in for the Tigers, and the shape saved him. A little bit of breeze as well. He's put it through.
Oh, I love what Jasper Elgar's done today. We spoke about that 2024 draft, but he's playing the second key forward behind Fawcett. Lafau pinching through there as well. He's had the matchup versus Darcy Gardner, and you can just see there, quite agile, but you've got to keep those big key defenders that like to intercept accountable, and he's been able to do that. It's an excellent mark there and an excellent finish. 3 goals out of Jasper Elgar. I'd be absolutely thrilled.
Well, it's a great goal. He's carrying the weight of that number 29 graciously today with 3 goals. Old KB be watching him, be thinking, how good's this kid? 29 kicking goals again.
KB hated a goal too, didn't he? 778 of them out of the middle. Lockie Neal. Brisbane need a statement. And they need their stars to rise. He couldn't help but take that mark, Charlie Cameron.
How good was that from centre bounce? And it's been something that they've struggled today against the Tigers. Brisbane, but
it's an area they've been outstanding in this year, but not then.
Yeah, on the fly there.
Well, this is just A-grade stuff. I mean, he read that from the Tigers' hand, and the kick was sublime.
Charlie's been quiet so far today. And it makes a little bit of noise at the start of the third quarter. Simply had to convert after that brilliant bit of work in the middle of the ground from Draper and Lockie Neal.
Let's have a look whether it was Draper or not.
Oh, that's champagne service, Jared. Come on, you've got to give that one to him. Just a little flip over the back there. They opened it up nicely.
Okay, I'll give it to him. Yep, that was a ripper. I think Noah Bolton might have had a hand in it, but nevertheless, 2 hands are better than 1. Geez, that's a good kick. And Charlie will be thrilled.
Well, he doesn't have his song up here, but the crowd behind me are singing Country Road pretty hard down here.
2 goals, 1 last week. And that gets him to 30 for the season. Bolter, again Neil, reading the hands of either Ruckman. Fletcher is springing to action. Draper, interesting kick. That's what you asked for earlier on, Jared.
Yeah, just the handball would have done, but nevertheless, good stuff.
Rayner, McKenna, they're rolling Brisbane. Bailey, a turn and another turn, and they had no idea which way he was going. It's all go for Brisbane. Ashcroft puts it through.
Well, they got the first goal of the Tigers, but gee, it's been party tricks ever since. That was just brilliant stuff. And they're all going over to Bailey and just patting him on the back because what he did was exquisite.
All the good players getting involved here for the Brisbane Lions. You just see there, Rayner involved, being out to Bailey, trying to put Jaden Short in the washing machine there. That there is an unbelievable kick. Off one step, just to poke it in like that and make sure that it gets there. Really forced Ashcroft to run to the goal line. Take a look at this. Just thank you very much. And that's like a wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah,
just forced him into the end zone. You're not going to miss from there.
He did that same move in the grand final and kicked the goal in that same pocket.
Over the top, Draper again, feeding it to Neil. Something has changed and Brisbane are surging now. Rayner's kick is deep. Cameron didn't take the mark. He's looking for a whistle, but play moved on. Banks copped it. Sustained appeal, but turned down by the umpire.
Well, time is now. Lockie Neal, they've just got to put some time into him at the centre bounce. You can't let Lockie just do his thing that he's done. 3 out of 3. Been brilliant.
Hipwood got the hand off to Dunkley and now to Ashcroft from the corner.
Oh, no.
Some amazing craft. It's a goal, and what a great goal it is.
Oh, that is worthy. That is absolutely worthy of the Harvey Norman of the day. I mean, Peter Dacos gave us this sort of window into the imagination around goals from the boundary line, but I'm not even sure Dakes could have imagined this. 1, 2, 3 bounces over the top. The chief is going to have to actually acknowledge that the dribble kick has got a place.
Bring it back. Bring back the dribble kick. He's kicked the goal like this already this year where he just summed it up, looked at it. He could have went high, but he just dribbled that along the ground.
Oh, the bounce is going to be big. They're going to have to open up with the dribble kick tonight.
For a player who hasn't kicked that many goals, his quality of goals has been astonishing.
He's such a talented player. His skill is at the elite level, the elite of the elite.
And Brisbane's stars are just shining, aren't they, quickly in this third quarter. They put a gap in the game for the first time. Draper tried to whack it forward. Came off the bounce. Towed out by Grill. Richmond need to respond. Rechko with the forward hands.
I just haven't touched it for 5 minutes.
Sonsi on the run, so they get their chance here. But well done by Gardner.
Cam Rayner's gone into the middle now for Brisbane as well. Predominantly played forward in that first half, so clearly Chris Fagan sensing the moment, puts his raging ball into the middle, trying to assert some dominance around that contest and clearance aspect of the game.
Brisbane by 15. Draper.
He's dominated this quarter, Draper.
Certainly has. Bolter steps in at the right moment. A chance for a breath or two.
Well, Draper kicked it out to Bolter there. The matchup, he just throwing to kick it back to Draper.
He might have just done that. Oh, Draper goes over. And he's going to get a whistle. It's in his favour. Gentle hand off to Berry. Cameron engaging with Broad. Rioli, you can hear the excitement levels rise, and the kicks ended up being perfect. I'm not sure who he was actually aiming for, but Sonsi will do.
That was excellent from Nathan Broad there. He's had the matchup on Charlie Cameron. Cameron wanted the ball a little bit further out to the boundary where he had the advantage, but Broad engaged him. And that spoil cleared that initial wave of crummers, and it was the Richmond players that had come in following that, Morris Rioli being one of those. The players just slipped over here nearly simultaneously as well.
So a big kick for Richmond here. Big kick for Tyler Sonsi. And his kick is true. Can't split any better than that.
Well, after kicking the first goal in this quarter, they just went to sleep for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. The Tigers, and just allowed Lockie Neal and the clearance game to totally dominate. Yet they're back and haven't lost a grip on this game at all. You just got to hang in there and accept that Brisbane are going to be Brisbane at patches, but just outlast them. Nice kick from Sonsi.
A lot on the shoulders of Noah Bolter, I think, in the next little bit here. Draper's off the ground, but the Lions have got back into this game through the ability to score from stoppage in this third quarter. All 3 goals have come from it.
Hayes Brown, again Brisbane go to work in the middle. This time it's Rayner and Dunkley with a combination. 6-6-6 made even numbers. Here he is again, Bailey. His own individual highlight reel will be incredible. Fated for the star that he is.
Well, they've got to go ultra-defensive now in this centre bounce. It is absolutely killing them at the present time. They have slaughtered them from centre bounce in this term. It's been a clinic. It's been great to watch. And they've done it a number of ways. That's once again, it was sharking the opposition ruckman. Long kick into the forward line. And then he goes bang. That is just great roving. Front and centre. Out to the right. And nails it. With a don't argue.
Speaking about the centre bounce, it's also behind the ball as well. That's the second time Nick Gloston's let Zach Bailey run into a contest with 2 or 3 metres. He's too good of a player to give him that sort of leg rope.
Concerns for Adam Uze. This time they go forward boots, touch. So not the mark anyway. McKenna tracked it beautifully. The pick-up and the snap wasn't far off.
Well, once again, Richmond won the hit out. And yet they're hitting it to Brisbane players. So they've got to sort themselves out in there and work out exactly what they're doing. Because it's killing them at the moment.
Forward. Length on the kick. Hayes Brown just behind. A fist from Gallup. And turned into a tackle on short.
So it's in that style that Richmond were able to open up the Brisbane defence with short kicks and the handball chains, bring the Lions defence up the ground.
Hayes Brown. Toronto. Josh Dunkley held insufficient intent. Well, feels like that's just about evaporated this year with the last touch. Margin sits at 16. Hayes Brown with a fist, short. He's got it out of there. It's gone into the corridor, so they're vulnerable to a turnover. Wilmot never stops. Driving kick is wide, a bit heavy for Hipwood. Bailey with a little push, can't get back onto the ball. Broad and Annan comes away. Kicks to the wing. Swenson, oh, he's taken it. That's a great take in the air. Fletcher claiming he's touched it. Into Taranto. He's just slowed down a bit of his third turn. He has good run from behind. Brown just made do. Jammed it on the right boot. Work it to Tresice.
Bolter forward.
A foul in the goal square as well. Softly into the pocket. Bolter couldn't quite complete it. Campbell gets hunted down.
Oh, nice little jab there.
Oh.
I didn't like that.
The foul not happy with what he saw. Goes at Darcy Gardner. Gallup is there as well. Things are starting to spread. Play just goes on. You watch the fight, I'll watch the footy, Jared.
Well, there's certainly a little arm movement. I'm not sure if it connected, but certainly the foul didn't think it was appropriate.
Tucked in the pocket, forward, Ainsworth.
There's one.
This definitely should have been a free kick.
Oh. I don't know what, that isn't a free kick either.
No. Richmond looking to circle around here. Pressed out. Knocked it down from Gardner. Now to follow. What to do with it? The hands were free. Campbell arrived with pace and intent. Tigers attacking Gallop.
He's been a find, this kid. Forward or back, he's been a beauty.
Yeah, often from week to week too. Intervening there. Excellent mark. Ashcroft with a pop kick. Gardner. Work it out. Ainsworth. Up along the wing and couldn't get a side of the ball. Hipwood on return and he's turned with game so you can see that. Oh, that's 50. Is it Brown on the outside?
Precise, I think on the inside was trailing in, trying to catch Lockie Neal.
Oh, catastrophic for Richmond, really. So what an opportunity for Eric Hipwood to return to the team. First game since late last year. Missed the opportunity to win a second flag. And all the rehab, they're taking their time, but decided that straight into the seniors. So he can reach his 200-game milestone. And the best way to welcome Eric back is with a goal. And his teammates love it. They come from every point of the compass to join in the celebration with Eric Hipwood. And as every good goal kicker does, he goes to the bench.
He's going to celebrate with boys that are on the bench here. Incredible scenes. Harris Andrews, a high five. They've all got their hands up. Obviously, horrific scenes when he went down late last year in round 23, just before the finals.
Well, one of the great challenges in footy is coming back from an ACL. And Eric Hipwood has met that challenge. And he's come back in his milestone game and kicked a goal, and the whole footy world would be thrilled to see him back.
Every player went to him as well, except for one player. Noah Ainsworth is stuck down here, and Noah Bolter told him, "What are you doing, mate? You need to run up and give him half one."
And then he got the four on the bench as well, so he got the full lot. Neil again out of the middle. Total domination out of the heart of this ground. The kick there not to match in this third term.
No, it was a quality little flip out the back there from the ruckman. He's had a big quarter in there.
Scores from centre bounce. 3-1 this quarter to Brisbane.
And you can see Taranto's been told, get on to Neil.
5 goals to 2 for the term. Brown to Taranto. The pressure is immense. Cullen was the next to cop it, and then Broad. And when the ball's out, they're still tackling.
The different side in this term, the Brisbane Lions, as they should be. They were given a lesson in pressure in the first half.
Game high 22. Can Richmond stay the course here? Another one. Could have been added to the goal-kicking reel of Will Ashcroft there. 9 score involvements, as you can see, from Will.
He's having a big game, it's fair to say. 24 disposals, and as Hutto said, a lot of score involvements. 6 clearances, 2 goals too, including the dribble goal of the year.
Pops up to work its way through Brain and Ainsworth. Gives it a thump. Oh, forward at the back.
He did that easily. Read it really well.
This has been the other shift from a Brisbane point of view. There was a hesitation, it seemed like, in that first half to take that option there just to get it in to the contest there. Ainsworth is around the centre part of the ground there. And the ability here at Ninja to access deep. And you can do that with one kick. An excellent mark there from Fort.
So to continue the domination, it's like a different team has come out after the break. And the back-to-back premiership Blackman puts it through for another 6 for the quarter.
Nice. Great goal, but it's about work rate and about inexperience. Oliver Hayes-Brown, I suspect, just didn't follow him down. You see him late in the piece getting there, but he was one out, 1 against 2. Having a look here now. Here he comes, the big man. he's too late.
The Tigers have 15 players under 60 games playing today, so while they have some experience at the top end, there are a lot of youngsters, including that debutant Kyle Allen, but fine goal from Fort. Draper's been outstanding to get them started again. Out of the middle, up to meet it, Levi Ashcroft. Pistons the handball out to Neil and then to Dunkley. What a combination they are when they're in full flight. Allen wins it back. As you can see, the disparity in the centre clearances in this third term is
Been a clinic, hasn't it? Been a total clinic out of the centre.
There's one of the numbers coming in that we thought might favour the Lions, and as Jack said, not so much in the first half, but since then.
The clearances full stop in this term. It's been a real lesson. 10-4.
There's Brown. Grab hold of that one. Campbell to Broad. Rutschko feeding it back again. Campbell, so they've got a kick away. A foul has to fly, and he does. Drags it down, and they're able to spread forward. Taranto lost his footing, but not his composure. Short. Take it wide. Richmond through Sonsi to the goal square. Force it. Marco free kick. Advantage, so it was obviously a free kick. And Tresice on the end of it all. And they settle into that, the Tigers.
That was an excellent mark from McKelty Folau. He was the one. The big high ball came through there, and we haven't seen enough of this forward handball in this third quarter from Richmond. There's an aspect of their game that certainly shone through. They've only had the 3 metres gained from handball so far in this third quarter. But once they were able to break that Brisbane defence, it was the ability. Then you can see the mark here from Folau. Brisbane all at sea, Richmond players ahead of the ball, and that's what we saw in the first half there. That's what they need to get that running game up and going again. And an excellent finish there from Jaden Short. Free kick paid. You won't miss something like this.
So they are to find a second win, the Tigers. Got to hang tough here. They've kicked a goal out of the middle, and it looks like Brisbane are going to loom again, although Bailey pushed back, and then Brain smothered by Rioli. It's a Richmond turn, a foul. He knew where Presti was. Did Morris. Wobbling ball, forced it held at bay by Andrews. Now he gets onto it. Was that high on Wilmot? Wasn't far away. Still a lot of time to go in this third term. High scoring quarter that it's been. Hayes Brown. Grabbing it was one thing, disposing of it another. Bailey, bit of a tentative kick out of there, knowing that likely the Tigers lining up, and Jaden Short
Did well, came back with the flight of the ball.
6 goals to 2 in this quarter so far. The foul. Hayes
Just
Brown.
outside his range.
Indeed. And have the leg that has the height. Also can't make the contest. The foul.
Still play on, but the foul thought he grabbed it.
100% said the umpire. Touched. There's Brown. Campbell. Not quite. Fort. Ellsworth. What an opportunity here for Richmond. Hayes Brown. Presti. Oh, not quite. Comes back again to Green. Great smart, great diligence shown by Wilmot. Loman, long way from goal. Immense pressure from Richmond. Pressure is lifted. Needs some return. Hopper goes to ground. Pressure again, and no mates to release the handball to. Lockie Neal not letting go. Campbell, clever enough. Hayes Brown. Campbell put his head over it, so did Wilmot. Made it a Brisbane ball. Banks, though, to send it back again for the Tigers. This time a little bit more surety. They're going on a wider path this time. Jaden Short. Oh, it's a bit of a nothing flick. Floated to Wilmot. Dunkley. Wanders off, drives for the wing and for Draper. He brought a few down with him. Adam versus Morris. Had the speed to get his way through. Miller, generally a nice kick. That's no exception to Rechko. Just 1 year at Geelong. As we know, Brooke is a big Tiger fan, so loving his type. Elgar, even though Hopper had a lot of company, play on was the call. Wayne sprays it. Tom Brown, another with Geelong heritage, of course. Paul kicks it up beyond the wing. Walters back out there, he cleared the path for the foul. Came marching out, he's got a loose man at centre half forward in Prestia. He wasn't convinced he could reach him. I don't think he knew what he was doing. It was a plan completely undefined, but he sold a few. And now Hopper gets in on the act. Big build-up from Tigers. They need a big mark, but instead it's Wilmot. What a player.
What a step from the foul there. Look at this.
Just a rugby step coming into it.
That's 1v4.
I've been mesmerised. Tunstall. Taking his time. Draper. Made the contest. There was Bailey and now Morris. 55 metres. He's got that in.
Well, compounded with the ability to score from stoppage, and giving the Tigers a little bit of a lesson at forward 50 or forward half crumbing as well. Zach Bailey's been all around that action today. Once again, taking that long contest there, and you can just see Bailey giving a free run. It was a little hand that got out to Logan Morris there, and that is an excellent finish from 55 metres. He's been well held by Ben Miller today off the back of 7 last week. And that little deft touch from Zach Bailey. Well done.
Yeah, it's a great finish by Bailey. He's having a good game. But Draper is also having a huge quarter. Bringing the ball to the deck was exactly what the coach would have been asking of him. He's been dominant in the centre bounce. He's been really good around the ground. There he goes again, that flip out the back. This time Taranto read it best.
So Bailey has just stood about 2 metres over the mark. Anyway, takes the kick out wide. Orioli falls over. Should have been uncontested. They were quite on the same wavelength. Playing spoiled instead, so Richmond go to work. Campbell feeding it back. They look the handle too precise. Then real imperfection on the kick, unfortunately, from a Richmond point of view.
He's a really good young kid girl. He's got some work to do on his kicking.
Neil feeding it back inside. Gallop back to the fence, so Hipwood to play forward today. Was that a push? According to the umpire, Brown summed it up well into Banks. Forestier. Banks looking to buzz past on the other side. Trying to draw a 50 as well. That's not 15. Final, are we ready to kick it forward? We are now. Forestier. It's going to be over Rioli's head. Gallop came with a fist. What an impact he had.
Yeah, they've lost the dare. They've lost their grip on the game here, the Tigers. They just haven't been able to win enough ball around the stoppage to release. When they get hold of it, they've lost their confidence going into the front half.
Gentle tap down from Bolter. Grill. Now Prestia. Adams doesn't have the long bomb. Instead, pokes it into the pocket for Elgar. Well done again by Ty Gallup.
Inside 50s 11 to 12 this quarter, so they've had their ability to get it inside. Forward 50 from a Tigers point of view. The Lions have just been so clinical, scoring at 75%, 7 goals already. Cream has really risen to the top here in this third quarter.
And they have numbers behind the ball here, Brisbane. If it happens to go Richmond's way, it doesn't. Ashcroft to Neil, back to Will Ashcroft before Rioli arrived. Finds Levi, more reinforcements from behind. Neil swinging that handball forward. Berry fed it back out. Levi got crushed as he kicked it. Down the line, chop with the arms on Miller. He's off the lines that time. Sorry, Jack.
He's had his own behind the ball today, Ben Miller. He's got that big matchup versus Logan Morris.
Banks, Boston, and then spreading for him. Oh, kick wrong-footed him. And then Cameron got it. Their stars have gone to a new level in this quarter, and it's just inside for McKenna.
Now, no one's shining more than Lockie Neal, who had a really quiet second term. He's come out and said, righto, if it is to be, it's up to me, and he's gone 10 possessions, 100% effective, 3 clearances, and 3 score involvements. He's been a star.
For a man who spent a lot of his career as a defender, he's had a good knack around the sticks this year. Conor McKenna, not so much there.
That was you talking about just then on that left foot snatch, Jared, is that you come back and try and get a right foot check side on the dominant foot.
Yeah, spot on, Eddie. Not sure why people would not use their dominant foot, but it's trending. Not sure it's trending as well as it could.
Banks, is there time enough here for Richmond to get one? They need to win a contest on the wing. Elder and Rioli involved.
They just lost their ball movement. The Tigers just can't go from one end of the ground to the other as they were in the first half.
Both Blackman limped to ground, and the free kick is going against Noah Bolter. College's arm was held on to by Draper. He kicks it quickly. Richmond didn't have a spare back in time, so extra work on Miller. Morris pulled it out of the mire and brings it out of bounds.
Keep your eye on Prestia and Ashcroft.
30 points in it. Well done from Bolter down to Annan. He was a bit slow on the handball. And got it to Ashcroft who almost produced another.
It's amazing how many times blokes get set to play on somebody at a stoppage, and they, as soon as the ball goes up in the air, they go from being a man watcher to a ball watcher, and Ashcroft there got it anyway.
And if it's not one Ashcroft, it's the other one.
That's right. A double act.
Noah Bolter. Sun in the eyes, but he's able to find Tom Brown. He kicked it well. Enough depth to Floston, and then the run, the dash from short. A late surge from the Tigers. Will it be a fruitful one? Sonsi rolls around. Kicked out of the pocket. Force it denied by Andrews. Not the first, it won't be the last, but it stays alive. Green with the flip. Campbell with a touch. Great build-up. Force it gone from the foul. And then under pressure, Grill. And then it just becomes a little bit unstuck. Brisbane went back, but not for long. And waiting was Taranto. And he was eventually located.
Made it hard work there, the Tigers.
So what?
Blokes that maybe could have had a shot, or definitely could have had a shot. It's excellent work from their ball use. We've got past that first line of Brisbane defence that looks really good ahead of the ball. This man here's had an excellent game so far. Been well held in this third quarter though.
What he has done is been able to kick goals. And unfortunately, that doesn't continue. That's a bad miss. Late in the third term. 2 goals. PB is 4. He intends to get to 3 on that occasion. Gallup gives it a thump. Collision course on the wing. Now, Precise. They get one last gasp here. With a warp kick, Rioli. Fended off a couple and then slams it into the woodwork.
That was a big hit down here. You could hear that. And everyone coming around the ground just had their hold their heart and breath.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, Eddie. Everyone could hear it. Everyone felt the same. Dead set dome, that one.
Yes, it was. And I didn't even know what I just said then. I held their heart and their breath.
Hannum, decisive punch forward, but beaten by the bell, the Tigers, and beaten in that quarter by a very, very good football team when they're at the best. They are laden with stars at the top end, and they were strutting their stuff in that third quarter. Out of the middle is where it all started. Ashcroft kicked 2 of his own in that term. 27 points they scored from stoppages in that third term. Speaking of good sides, what a menu we have next weekend, and it starts on Thursday with Fremantle, who lost just once. You know the team they lost to this year? It was the Cats. They meet again on Thursday night.
All right, there we go. 3/4 time. Brisbane have put their foot down in this game, folks. 30 points is the margin up until 3/4 time. The Tigers put on 3 goals, 1 in that third term. Look, they tried hard in that third term, but the Brisbane Lions, well, I'll tell you what, they came out with their tricks and absolutely dominated that centre bounce in that third term. 7 goals, 4. 7 goals, 4 to the Brisbane Lions in that third term. 13-10-88. The Brisbane Lions, the Tigers 9-4, 58. We're going to see a little bit of a comeback from the Tigers. I hope so. Well, they missed a couple. They did miss a couple, and Rioli had a shot. Rioli, I think it was, had a shot just before the siren. Unfortunately, he hit the post. There we go. Let's have a look at the goal scorers now, because we had a few more in that third term. There's a host of them. For the Tigers, Jasper Alga tops the table with 3 goals. Tim Taranto with 2. Liam Fawcett with 2 goals also. Singles to Tresaisi and Tyler Sonsei there for the Tigers. Of course, for the Brisbane Lions, I was going to read out Logan Morris. But for the Brisbane Lions, of course, Logan Morris with 2 goals. Zach Bailey, Will Ashcroft with a couple of goals. Bruce Revel, Lockie Neal, Connor McKenna, Eric Hipwood, Darcy Fort, Josh Dunkley, Charlie Brom Cameron, all singles there for the Brisbane Lions. Just having a look now at the disposal magnets. Will Ashcroft, to tell you what, didn't he have a cracking third term, folks? 28 disposals he's up to now. 15 kicks, 13 handballs, 7 marks, 4 tackles, 7 clearances, 2 goals, 3. I'll tell you what, didn't he kick an absolute ring-a-ding-ding from the boundary? It was a dribbler. And tell you what, Peter Dacos-esque type of goal. It was an absolute cracker. There we go. The best, of course, for Richmond. Tim Taranto's having a great game for them. 26 touches, 12 kicks, 14 handballs, 7 marks, 3 tackles, 4 clearances, 2 goals, 1. There we go. Darcy Wilmot, Lockie Neal both on 21 for the Lions. Prestia on 20. They are top disposal getters. And the only ones are 20 and above in the game so far, just a 5. We'll just roll on down a little bit. Vloston on 15. Josh Dunkley on 17 touches. McKenna 16 there for the Lions. Levi Ashcroft 14. Jared Berry having a reasonably good game there on 14 disposals there for the Brisbane Lions. Of course, 3 kicks, 11 handballs for him. Let's keep on rolling down. Sam Draper 12 disposals, 21 hitouts, 5 clearances there. And of course, Noah Bolter 12 disposals. A little bit quieter in that third term. 14 hitouts and a clearance from him. Just keep rolling down. Of course, Cam Rayner, well, he's been well held today. Just the 8 touches for him. Oliver Hayes-Brown there, 12 hitouts there for the Tigers. 8 disposals, 3 clearances. So doing all right. And of course, the opposing, the second ruckman for the Brisbane, 5 disposals, Darcy Fort. 11 hitouts, 3 clearances. All right, there we go. Just having a little bit of a look. The other game on today, of course, St Kilda and the Giants. That game is going to be starting in any tick of the clock there. We'll try and update you there once this game finishes or during the game of the score in that game. All right, folks, let's head back down to the commentators and they'll take us into the final quarter where it's the Lions by 30 points. We'll get back underway in just about a minute's time.
Today, well, this is why a little closer, really little, but the angle was even tighter, and still he found a way to beat the Tiger defence and get the pop just at the right moment, end on end. There's been some crackers kicked today, none better than that from Will Ashcroft. And Brisbane 7 goals in all in that third term to 3. And they take a 30-point lead into the final term. Let's get down to Eddie Betts. You weren't too bad with a few goals from the boundary end.
Yeah, that was a great goal, and he did it twice. But it's a tight angle down here. But to kick that goal on the ground, the drill kick was unbelievable. But Brisbane Lions, they look like a different team compared to the first half. It started with the centre bounce. Their mids got the work, in particular Lockie Neal. Just won 3 clearances in that quarter, got a 4. But if you just watch it, Zach Bailey, the crumb on this, super straight through the pack and finishes that goal. And if you look for on a different angle, just the Boston can't allow Zach Bailey to have that much space running back. As a small forward, you need to bump the bar and put body pressure on him. But they need to turn up the pressure again if they want to stay in this game. And it is getting a bit cold down here, Jack, so hopefully you can send me down a blanket so I can keep warm.
Yeah, we're right, Ed. I think for the Lions, the message at three-quarter time from Chris Fagan, it would reflect back to 12 months ago when they played North Melbourne down here, and in a game that they thought they should have won, or they should have won quite comprehensively, and it ended in a draw. So certainly they would want to work off the back of that dominant third quarter. Boys, and there's plenty to like from a Richmond point of view, so a great challenge for the Tigers here in this fourth term.
Yeah, let's hope that they can rediscover their form, but if they're going to do it, they're going to have to match the Lions at that stoppage area. And as the numbers just showed you, they may have not had their greatest start to the season, but their one-wood, the stoppage, has never left them. Still number 1 in the comp.
30-point margin. Final quarter gets underway. This is where the damage started in that third term. As Brown does well, gets it back to Banks. He got a shove as he kicks it down the line. Will not again. He knows exactly where to get to, doesn't he? Quickly sends it Brisbane's way. Loman, just a big part player today. Cameron well held largely by Broad. Precise. Back to Nathan Broad and across the defence. Miller stayed calm. Brown again. Keeps it wide. Fist first.
Darcy Reynolds had an excellent day today. That's his 10th intercept there. 11th intercept. One of those have been marks as well. 6 intercept marks. Just plonked himself behind the ball. Harris Andrews been well held. A couple of great fists from Harris, but Wilmot's been the one that's been winning the ball back forward and across half back.
He's getting close to 100 games now. He's just been a sensational player for Brisbane from go to woe. Fletcher and work the handballs to their advantage again. Although maybe they should have kept handballing.
I imagine Adamuzzo would have spoken at three-quarter time about the run that they had in that first half and went missing in the third quarter. They'd like to see that again here in the last.
They have the breeze behind them. The kick carries it to half forward. Hayes Brown never going to be a mark. Prestia goes to work. Feeding it through, coming. He's done well. He's spotted Sonsi.
Well, clever work from Hayes Brown. He hasn't played much footy, but he's learning. He's having an impact.
Excellent vision there from Sam Cumming, one of the young Richmond first-round draft picks in season 1.
So Tyler Sonsi already able to slot it through for a goal. He's had a good day, 17 disposals. And that had to do a lot, didn't it? He wasn't quite willing. 7 players wearing in the 40s today jumpers for the Tigers. That generally is an indication you've got a few injuries in the numbers, and with the mid-season draft being on the roads at the moment, easy turnover from Wilmot. Just gets it straight back to Sonsi. It's another crack. Tend to see some high numbers at this time of the year. So a little bit further on the journey, and Sonsi decides not to take it on. Bolter!
Oh, look at that, though,
Great jerks too.
yeah. Not sure whether the kick was for him or not. Doesn't matter.
And I think Bolter had come from the goal square. Swansea was sort of hesitating. I think that he might have had the distance here. This is the turnover from Darcy Wilmot. But it was a set play. It was good penetration on the kick too as well. That was the advantage that Bolter needed versus Gallup.
Coach is happy.
Yep. Coach approved of the mark, not the kick.
Won't be happy with the kick though.
Yeah, disappointing there.
Not happy, Noah. Short into the back pocket. Andrews to Ashcroft to Gardner. Tigers 6 goals, 5 from set shots today. Hipwood. Just enjoying being back out there again. Broad. Ball's in hope, snatched by Dunkley again. That brilliant touch from Ashcroft. Reveal, he's a good kick. He's punched it up into the breeze. Across it goes for a minor.
It's a pretty fair 1-2 punch, Lockie Neal into Will Ashcroft.
Sandbanks has a good look around. Richko's head. It's all Brisbane back there. Draper.
It's got to be one of his best games for the Brisbane Lions, his new club.
Some excellent ruck work. His 5th mark, kicks it up forward. Morris was the target. Hipwood just picked it up and then blasted it through for a goal. Good to have you back, Eric. Good to have you back.
Well, that's just an extraordinary ground ball and goal from a big unit who's back for his first game for a long, long time. Starts in from Big Draper. Ball hits the deck. He just puts, he's playing the front square game. Great kick round the corner.
He's never really been your conventional key forward, has he?
No, he hasn't. No, he's a bit of a... He's a bit of a unicorn. Yeah, that's the word I was after.
He's a hybrid, I think. And his ability to... I mean, that left foot's deadly when he gets hold of it. I like the analogy. He's not your traditional key forward, but certainly that was a lovely finish.
Desperate to get his hands free, Taranto. Little kick in the end. They work it well through Campbell and Prestia, and now Short. Tosses it up into the breeze, and it was well handled by Steely Green as the Brisbane defenders all look at each other.
It was a genuine floater, Hutto. That one went right up into the skies at Bellerive here.
And if your man goes, you've got to go.
Wilmot just stood there and didn't want to go at all.
I think he'd lost actually traction on the ball here. He was sort of looking at it, thinking that it was going to float back, and then found himself too far away.
12 goals, 7 for the season coming in today. Steely Green got the distance covered beautifully. Never looked like missing.
Well, it's a good mark and goal, and to be fair to Wilmot, he wouldn't have played much of his entire life as a small defender. It's been a bit of an experiment for the coach, and ultimately it's been a good experiment. But this one is one he'll learn from. Big high ball, big sky ball, and he thinks his teammate's going to come in for the big pack, and he will learn. If your man goes, you go with him.
Lovely finish there from Steely Green. See those scores in the second half. A lot of those have come from stoppage for the Lions.
Averages a goal a game this year. And hits the scoreboard today. Out of the middle, Fort. Just a little scrambled ball. Well contained from Campbell, Bolter, Brown. Richko running. And Green ahead of him. He decides to kick instead to Grill.
Clever kick.
And round he goes. Sends Richmond forward. Sends Richmond deep. And Elgar almost. Elgar, yes.
Well, he's been the big plus today for Adamusa and Richmond. Jasper Elgar playing on Darcy Gardner. Certainly out of the height and weight division there. But his ability to get out the back of Gardner and certainly impact in the air has been excellent.
Instant promotion earlier in the year with a 5-goal game of the VFL to show that he could kick a bag of goals. But this is 4 goals at AFL level.
What a find he was for the Tigers. There's a lot been made of those first-round draft picks through 2024. He's one of the later-round picks. But excellent ball movement there. Young players getting involved. The future of Richmond under Adam Uze there. And you can see Alga just able to slip Darcy Gardner. And as soon as you're out the back as a forward, you know you're in a great position. Gardner turning his head, knowing that at some point he has to focus on the player. And a free kick given away there.
Hit 58 in the 2024 draft Jack was referring to, from Warragul originally. That famous number 29, as Gerard alluded to.
A bit of hair on the TV.
Jason Tawney, Tyrone Vickery, say hello as well. Taranto, they're getting some territory here, the Tigers. Certainly not giving up. They've had 2 excellent quarters before being a bit overwhelmed in the third.
It's good stuff from Lafau, though. Really good pressure and keeping the ball inside. Go get a stoppage.
Within 23 points, another goal here might make it interesting. Chain of hands, Banks. He just had no means of controlling it. So Dunkley, Neil and Ashcroft get together. Dunkley about to be trapped. Fine tackle.
Grab the arm was a brilliant tackle, Otto. He just could not get rid of that ball. He was done.
Returned last game, Sam Banks, after an injury earlier in the year.
Great vision, yeah. The coach would be wrapped with that.
Flips it low. Cleared everyone. Andrews towards Fletcher. Again, it was clever not to take possession.
Uze will be looking at some positive signs here, certainly in the last 3 or 4 minutes as well from some of these young Tigers. The pressure that we saw in that first half has been back. Certainly this game is not over yet.
Tiger fans have found some voice again.
Wasn't Lockie Neal expected to drop that on his boot? He's got a hand free.
Yeah. Ashcroft didn't need to take possession. Rayner and Bolter.
But you're right, Jack. The pressure, especially with Richmond and their forward half, they had 16 forward 50 tackles to Brisbane 7 tackles.
And look from the other side, and now Fort taps it down. Campbell decides he could keep it in and could kick it forward. Big pack starts to form, but it kept on carrying on the breeze, and Elga's got it again.
Yep. Slipped it again. Darcy Gardner goes to the front, the undersized forward. A really smart read of the ball there from Alga too. The pack sort of took everyone forward, and he was the one that was going in the opposite direction. It's good work from Seth Campbell, who's been able to get up the ground, playing a little bit more midfield as well, but you can just see that little shunt there.
For a 5th goal, Jasper Alga. He's got right underneath that one. And it doesn't come back. Certainly haven't made the most of all their opportunities today. The Tigers, despite that 11 goals, 7 looks respectable. Most of those behinds have been in set shots. Ryan hands it off to Fletcher. The exit to the wing. Good judgment that time from Gardner. The Lions veteran pulls it back to Brain. To half forward, a wobbly number to try and control. Roman, beautiful. McKenna just needs the finish. And that is just fine. A second for McKenna. And steady for Brisbane if they needed it.
Well, it was a double whammy, but it was a great little tap from Kyle Lohman. One shot missed at the other end of the ground. I've had a great game marking inside front half. The Tigers, 16's a record for them, but you miss the goal, it goes all the way back the other end of the ground, and then a little bit of brilliance from Kyle Lohman sets them up for a shot. Here it comes, bang. That's great stuff.
quiet day, Kyle Oman, but still that team out there that Chris Fagan will be looking at going, could have grabbed the ball and thought about the possession, but knew that he had a teammate in a better spot. Excellent tap.
Adam again. Forward goes Bailey. Oh, good hands from the ruckman forward.
So the bounce again from the Brisbane Lions, who have ramped that up since half-time. They were comprehensively beaten in the middle. It didn't affect the scoreboard that Richmond weren't able to score from it in that first half, but they've got to work in the second half here, the Lions crew.
Four goals for the season coming in today. He's always had an ability to kick a goal, Darcy Fort. For a moment, Nathan Brook thought the free kick was going against the Tigers, but umpire decided to pay the mark. Thanks. Harris has been doing that for 250 games. Why stop now?
When he spoils it, they stay spoiled, don't they? It's not the soft drop where your crummers are thinking, oh, it might be a chance of getting it here. It's 20, 30 metres over the boundary.
He's a great player. Still so instrumental in all that Brisbane do. As a result of him getting it out from the stoppage, Logan Morris is able to tumble into the mark inside 50. Only getting it forward.
They're the ones that forward that you've got to be ready for. Logan Morris had 2 metres of separation off Ben Miller there. That quick hack out of a stoppage. Every good forward will tell you that you've got to be on your toes and ready. You never know when it's going to come out. Morris was in exactly the right position.
Full 10 coaches' votes last week for his 7-goal, 4 career best. A little quieter today, but a chance for his third, a chance that he takes.
What a great young player.
35 goals for the season. No wonder his coach loves him.
He just reads the play very well. He's got footy sense, footy smarts. He just reminds me, and Dan, having been at Richmond, he's a lot like Jack Rewell, isn't he? I reckon, Logan Morris. He might even be a better version of that. That'll stir Jack up.
Are you stirred, Jack?
Not at all. Not at all.
Jack?
I did send Fakes a message after that, actually. But he's got an incredible knack of finding and reading the ball, Logan Morris. In terms of players that I like watching, he's right at the top of the tree, Hutto.
Does he use public transport, Jack?
No comment.
Out of the middle. Hayes Brown, Draper.
It's interesting to see, though, now Eric Edwards back in. He was the main target last week. The ball went to him, so looking forward to see how that goes.
Waggle in the middle again. Here's Bray. And in front was Broad.
What a worry he's been for the Tigers.
Rechko on the outside. Kept his width on the wing, and as a result, he kicks it forward. The foul, Rioli or Sonson. Sides on the ladder.
Great tackle.
The ball's from Gallant. Looked like he might have been out of his reach, but
He's got a long reach.
he has. Another escape by Bailey. He just floats one to Berry. Just couldn't quite find it. Rechko still running hard, which he'll do all day. Turned around and placed it for Sonsi. The give is all right to Rioli, confronted by Ainsworth. Slipped the handball to Cumming. On the move, the Tigers to the goal square. Oh, bounces all the way back. There's Andrews. Laugh about it with Darcy Gardner.
Poor old Steely Green there thought he was a chance of getting one falling into the lap, and then the big Inspector Gadget arms of Harris Andrews came through, but
Big Inspector Gadget arms.
Dustin Fletcher was the original Inspector Gadget.
Hall of Fame inductee this week, of course, Dustin. He spoke very well. Tunstall.
Cleaned up a lot of forwards, Dustin, but also cleaned up Mark Philippoussis in tennis.
Floats one to the wing.
1 out of 13, I
Yep.
think he said the score was.
As Gerald said, no one beats Dustin Fletcher 13 times in a row.
That's right.
Forces it down. Zach Bailey. I wonder if they're going to be able to keep Zach Bailey. That's Tunstall there. Zach Bailey around on his feet.
He's certainly playing like he's happy. As is Lockie Neal.
Ashcroft back to Fletcher. Short to Answorth. Throws it wide to Ford again. Hayes Brown does well in the defensive role that time.
I think they're starting to get their nucleus back, and obviously they probably haven't been at their best today. Brisbane, we've seen flashes of that here in the second half, but consistency with the 18 or 23 that they put out there on the weekend is going to be critical for them over the back part of the season.
Ford gets it down. Hopper. Hammered his way through.
Yeah, that onslaught, Jack, it's worth showing again and again in that third quarter of Draper and Neal and co. Just basically winning the game for them in the space of about 5 minutes. Separated the two teams.
Tigers 2 and 10 coming in. Lions will get to 8 and 6. Not a bad
That's a good play.
spot, really, given there is definitely opportunities below the top two teams. Lyman. Hasn't had many touches, but most of them have been memorable. Miller's had plenty. Feeding it through to Rayner, and then he's just popped it out in front. The invitation was there for Logan Morris.
Watching Will Day and Lockie Neal, when they are playing chess out there, it's like Boris Spassky. I know, just moving the prawn, and then he's moving the knight and the king, and they know what they're doing 3 moves ahead. I've seen it so often, and as you said, he hasn't even played 80 games. Will Day.
For a fourth goal for Logan Morris. He could be on his way to becoming the king, Jared, but he's missed that one to the left.
Yep.
It'll be fascinating to see in 3 years' time who's the best out of all of them. Caddy, Cadman, Morris.
Well, you're in a position to give us your prediction, Jack. Give us your 1, 2 and 3 in order.
Hang on, just watch this McKenna kick from the corner. Oh, it's just drifted. Going through from behind.
Unashamedly, I think that Morris will be the best out of all of them. I think Cadman will be second and Caddy's third, but they're all very, very good players.
Much better performance from the Tigers after being beat by 114 points by Sydney a fortnight ago before their break. Really challenged the Lions in the first half. They have tried to fought it out, but the Stars have risen as needed, and this man still working away, trying to create more memories.
Look at that. Deliberately didn't take possession, popped it up to himself. Very stiff.
Maybe just a little bit too much that time.
I'll tell you though, if that went through and he got a hold of that and kicked the goal, that would have been goal of the year.
If you're a Richmond supporter, though, you'd be watching this. You can see the future on a game like this. This has been really impressive.
Dunkley couldn't get it through cleanly. Crestes kept toiling away all day. Good luck getting out of that. Dunkley playing on net.
Here he goes. Watch this. Little tap to himself. Didn't take possession. Stiff not to get a head-high free kick.
Oh, that is a head-high free kick.
I think the other aspect of that, certainly the players today we've seen from younger players, Sonzi's one that comes to mind, Sam Banks as well. It's the game style as well, Jared. Use that short possession. That's the blueprint for this Richmond group going forward.
Yeah, it's been impressive at times. It's been really good to watch.
Neal honors the lead of Loman. Another man in the pocket. Just couldn't quite reach him. Short. Morris tries to stop Miller. To no avail this time. Helga up to take it. To find a little gap, a little channel to squeeze it down the line. Quite worked out his way. Nice little touch at the outside of the boot from Tunstall. And he finds Rayner.
One of the players over the back part of the season that I think Chris Fagan would be really focusing on, and on top of his wish list for Cam Rayner to find form.
Goals the last couple of weeks. He does have a habit of popping up late in games and late in seasons, doesn't he? Finding his best footy.
Yeah, I thought he started pretty well today.
Loman, has that got through untouched? It has.
It does. Well, he's bobbed up late with a couple of really exquisite possessions or tap-ons, stroke possessions. And this is just, I think, a bit of a loss of concentration from the Tigers.
Good hands there from Ford though as well.
Yeah.
Having both your ruckmen down there, challenging that Richmond last line of defence there, but then the ability to get your knees dirty as well. And put it under the arm abroad there. So many players that have played well in big games that just need to find just an extra 5-10% of form as they challenge, obviously, the 3 premierships in a row.
Draper again. Taranto, plenty of company that time. 36 disposals for Will Ashcroft, 28 for Taranto, so certainly quells his influence reduced in the second half. Neil just slammed it on the boot.
Yeah, he was quelled, and a couple of the Lions' guns certainly just feasted out.
They did indeed. Good score from Gallup. Well, he's got a bit of cramp to go with it. Red today.
Talking to Chris Fagan about Tiger up last night, and they do have expectations for him in the future to go forward, and there you can see where they sit on the ladder, Brisbane, so we're all in the 10 at the moment.
And they'll be dangerous. They'll be in the mind of those teams competing until they're out of it, won't they, this year?
Bit lucky there, Fletcher, to get away with that one, but Lockie Neal again putting on a show.
Green getting it forward. Grill delivering to the pocket, force it and foul. Cutting each other's way a little bit.
Who gets the Jack Rewald medal today? Jack?
Look, I think Will Ashcroft again.
It's got to be close.
Pretty good.
If there's a medal up for grabs, Will just has to.
I voted for him twice, I think, in the North Smith's run. He probably gets it today as well.
The fingertip up. Grill tries to get a toe into it. He can't. Bailey, somehow he stays balanced and stays dangerous. Unfortunately, his kick, though, shut down by Prestia, able to keep the chain of hands going. That's a better kick. Cumming is able to put it through.
I really like this kid, Jack. Hasn't had a big day, but that's a nice finish. He's got so much talent. This is one of the best 1-2s of the game, but I think he went for the 1-2-3. And the kick wasn't there, the turnover was on, and then the finish was really good. He's going to be a good player for the Tigers.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the shining lights, obviously. Getting more midfield time into Cumming is certainly something Adamuzo would like to do. Grill's another player they'd like to get more time into through the middle. Once again there, Jasper Alger, he's kicked 4 goals today. He was the one that put that pressure on. Just pick little bits of play out from a Richmond point of view that are big ticks, and obviously the result won't go their way today, but Adamuzo, I think he'll be quite pleased with what he's seen from his young Tigers today.
4-3 in this final term to Brisbane's favour, so still a chance for Richmond to win this last quarter. Taranto's entry was deep, got over Andrews, not Wilmot. Handsworth had to arch the back. Wilmot from the defensive goal square. Interesting improvisation as he kicked it.
That was so risky.
All sorts of things could have gone wrong. Instead, Andrews to Bailey.
It's the midfielder coming out of Wilmot, I think, doing those kicks.
Do you think he'll end up there, Jerry?
Oh, absolutely. Particularly if a couple leave.
I'm not so sure, Jared. I think the timeline on Dane Zorko's career coming to the latter part of it, I think Wilmot's going to be their most important player, and off half-back where they sorely miss Zorko. You hard to see Chris Fagan leaving too soon.
He's got 5 years left. He's going nowhere.
Tunstall
45 then.
to Rayner.
Just keep a close eye on Lockie there. We're in the stoppage. He grabbed his left hamstring, and then he grabbed it a bit before the physio went out to him. He's still out on the ground, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Down to 50. And there to push it away.
How have you assessed Kai and Ann's game today, the mid-season pick, Jared?
Well, if I was a Geelong supporter, I'd be disappointed, as Hutto was told me at half-time. No, he looks a beauty. That's a great pickup.
It was interesting because Richmond thought they were going to have first pick in the mid-season draft. Then they, of course, beat Essendon. And so they ended up being the Bombers.
Okay.
They had that mid-season pick, so if they hadn't lost that game, they may not have picked him up.
I think the Tigers would have taken Jackson Artemis that was taken. Pick one in that mid-season draft, but I mean, what a great validation for a man who's plied his trade in the VFL and now finds himself on the big stage and looking right at home.
Minute 18 left in this one. It's given us a lot more probably than we thought today, to be honest, for both teams to some degree. Just a reminder in the second half of the stars that Chris Fagan, as if we needed one.
He's happy, folks. I think he's laughing that he just saw a man who's had about 30 possessions just trying to milk one more on the boundary line.
There's Brown. Oh, lucky might have got one to the face there. I didn't see it. We've got a couple of... Toronto gives him a bit of a push. Tunstall.
And it's one of the reasons Serrano's numbers have dropped off in the second half, because when Lockie Neal went berserk in the third quarter, he was asked to sacrifice his game to go on to him.
Feeding it out to Preston. Wobbles it forward, and that's not touched, I'm afraid.
Hasn't been a lot of lassos today.
No, not as many Cowboys down in Tassie.
No, that's the reason.
We're down there, you just got to go looking.
I was going to say that's
Around the middle part, I reckon.
It probably is a few.
The other thing that hasn't been that prevalent has been pushing the backs, and it doesn't take long for the players to realise the umpires aren't going to let you do it now. The rules changed, and they disappear pretty quickly. There's been the odd one, but certainly not the prevalence of previous weeks.
So the Lions happy to see our time. It's been a successful trip to the coach's home state. A little slow in the first half. But in game 250 for their champion defender. A successful return for Eric Hipwood. So a lot of ticks for the back-to-back premiers. And they've overcome a tenacious score involvements and a career best there, and also equally his personal best of 36 disposals. He was certainly the four-quarter star for the Lions, but the others part of a really damaging third term when they blew it open, Jared. And in the end, it's a pretty comfortable win, but one with lots of merit from a Richmond point of view.
Yeah, I think everyone goes away a winner, no matter who you're barracking for today. Lots of upside for the Tigers. And lots of upside for the Lions. They saw the best, and Will Ashcroft, he put on a clinic to add the Jack Riewoldt medal to his trophy cabinet. Down to you, Eddie.
Eric, first game back, mate. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm glad we got the win, that's for sure. It makes me feel a hell of a lot better. But it was nice. It was great fun to get back out there doing what I love.
When did you find out? Obviously, you come straight back into the side. Fags spoke about not playing you in the reserves, bringing you straight up for your 200th game. So when did you find out?
Well, I found probably after training on Thursday, really, officially. I'd spoken to Fags and he sort of gave me the option a couple of weeks ago. Told him I wanted to play AFL, no question, but he sort of didn't really officially tell me till after training on Thursday.
And do you have any family over here? Obviously coming all over to Tassie to watch you play 200th?
Yeah, I've got a lot of family. My partner, she's got some family in Tassie as well, so it was nice to come to Tassie and I love it here.
Talk about the young stars you got here. Logan Morris, an absolute superstar, 7 goals last week. How have you seen his development this year?
He's great. It's been fantastic. He's sort of like a Jesse Hogan and Jack Riewoldt like. His craft is so good, but he prepares so well. He prepares like a pro. Every day off, he's in the gym. I'm surprised every single time these first years come through and second years, they prepare like a pro, and I feel like that's sort of an underrated trait to have. But yeah, Logs has certainly taken the forward to the next.
Congratulations, mate. They're going to get cheered off over there. You and her injuries, but well done. Take it easy. Yep. Alrighty, so we are staying with us now in the middle of Jack's ground here in Hobart. We're going to go over and get Will Ashcroft, absolute superstar, 37 disposals, a PB. Will, I'll jump on this side here, mate. How's that, mate? It was a slow start, but you eventually got the win.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we do against the lower ranked teams at the moment, but the last couple of years really, but credit to Richmond, we knew they were going to come out hard. And yeah, just had to grind it away. Sometimes you got to do that in conditions like this and away from home, so it's still part of it.
What was the message at half-time? Because you came out and you looked like a complete different side, and it started here in the centre bounce.
Just getting back to the basics. Centre bounce is a big one. Fake sort of challenges. I think we're -4 at half-time. And on this ground, it's a pretty big factor in the game. So to get back to our basics, I think we're probably getting on the fly a bit too much, those hero players in the centre bounce, and it's a bit slippery around here, so trying to play percentages a bit more, and we did that in the second half.
And a PB for you, 37 disposals, but disposals doesn't matter, mate. I want to talk about this goal over in his pocket. Just a little grab, and you assessed it up and just dribbled it on twice against Richmond.
Yeah, that's what Fletcher's reminded me of that. The last I did the same thing. I kind of forgot about that, but yeah, it was good fun to get that. And Charlie said you were sitting over there, so I tried to give you a little point, but it's all good fun.
It was a great goal. Congratulations on the good win, and I'm going to get back over there to celebrate. Take it easy.
What a performance from Will Ashcroft and the Lions. 35 points. There's the margin. They go to 8 and 6. And they are going to be as dangerous as ever if they get their best footy together in the back half of the season.